本日はお忙しい中、イスラエルフィンテックウェビナー&ミートアップ2023にご参加いただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。司会のイスラエル大使館経済部、根本と申します。本ウェビナーは、金融庁一般社団法人フィンテック協会、日本イスラエルイノベーションネットワークの協力のもと、イスラエルのフィンテック分野での最新トレンドとともに、多様なスタートアップ企業をご紹介いたします。また、ウェビナーの後にはブレイクアウトルームを使用した自由に質疑応答のできるミートアップのお時間を用意しておりますので、ご興味のある企業の部屋へご参加ください。また今回は、ブレイクアウトルームへの移行をスムーズにするために、Zoom ミーティング形式で行っております。参加者の皆様はマイクとビデオをオフにして、ご参加ください。開催にあたりまして、駐日イスラエル大使館経済部経済公使ダニエル・コルバーよりご挨拶がございます。ダニエルさん、よろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Suguru-san. 皆さん、こんにちは。It's a great pleasure to be hosting once again this fintech event with our partners, Financial Services Agency, FSA. So we'd like to thank our partners very much. Also, gratitude to our support from Fintech Association of Japan and the entities of JIN, Japan Israel Innovation Network. Also, I'd like to thank all our speakers today, Israeli startups. We have also a financial services agency and one of the leading banks in Israel, Discount Bank. But especially I'd like to thank all our attendees today, all the participants from Japan. We have more than 110 people registered, so we're very excited about that. And we're really looking forward to this upcoming event that will include presentations and also meetup and breakout rooms. Japan and Israel's relations are blooming and booming. I think they've never been stronger, economically especially. The amount of investments is rising, a number of transactions as well. And that is also true for fintech sector. Actually, recently we had a very busy week with a lot of events. One of them, or a few of them, organized by Calcalist newspaper and the Discount Bank that are here with us today. And fintech was an important subject covered in this conference. So we had a very nice panel that includes startups, included Mizuho Bank, included Financial Services Agency, and so it was very much covered. And definitely fintech is an important sector for Israel as well, attracting quite a big part of investments from abroad, with Israeli startups doing quite well, I would say. And if we look at Japan and Israel, to cite just a couple of examples, we saw Mizuho Bank signed an agreement with Israel Export Institute for collaboration just a few days ago. Also, MUFG invested just last month $40 million in liquidity capital. So these are just examples, and there are many other examples about Israel-Japan collaborations in fintech. And so we would like to take the opportunity to invite all of you to Israel because seeing is believing, and meeting the people in person is a very good way to learn about Israel, learn about exploring collaborations with Israeli companies. It's now easier than ever as we have direct flights between Japan and Israel. So in 11 hours and a half, you can make it to Israel. And that's from March this year, so it's quite new. So I invite you all to take advantage of that and participate in one of the events that we have in Israel, fintech related, for example, Fintech Week, and other events as well. And we are, of course, here. When I say we, it's the Economic and Trade Mission of Israel in Japan. We are part of Israel's Ministry of Economy and Industry, and also of the embassy here in Japan. and we have offices in Tokyo and Osaka. Take the opportunity to thank my team for organizing this event, Suguru Nomoto-san, who's leading our efforts for FinTech, and the rest of the team as well supporting. So finally, I'd like to invite all of you to, in addition to the presentations today, to take an active part in the breakout rooms right after. So please feel free to visit the different rooms. And also, we are here to support you in meeting the Israeli companies for virtual meetings after or in-person meetings. In general, our objective is to connect Israel and Japan and create business opportunities. So we are here for that. And I invite you to participate in future events as well. So with that, I will conclude. Thanks again, everyone. And I'm really looking forward to this event. ありがとうございます。
ダニエルさん、ありがとうございました。それでは、まずはじめに、ディスカウントバンクのヘッドオブビジネスディベロップメント&イノベーションのシャニ・フレイダーマンさんから基調講演がございます。それでは、シャニさん、よろしくお願いします。シャニさん、floor is yours.
Hi, good morning. Suguru-san, can you just open my camera?
Just a moment. Okay.
Great. Hi, everyone. Konnichiwa. I will share my presentation. So first of all, let me start by saying that it's a great honor to be here with you. As Daniel mentioned, we were in Tokyo last month, and we did a big convention. And this is our opportunities to be the bridge between Japan and Israel's fintechs, and that wants to get together and work together. So let me give you a little bit a view about the ecosystem in Israel. First of all, a little bit about myself. I'm the head of business development and innovation in Discount Bank. Prior to that, I worked at the government. I was the head of domestic debt and issuances. So I have a lot of experience working with regulators and the government, working in strategy. I was the IT and real estate investment head of prioritizing, and I have also knowledge in product. So a little bit facts and figures about the Israeli market. So we have more than 400 fintech companies, total acquisition and fundraising in 2014 until 2022, more than $18 billion. 17% of them has customers outside of Israel, and 150 companies from them has more than 50 employees, and also more than 50 companies raised over Series B. Why I mentioned those figures is because I want to say that we have a mature ecosystem. We have fintechs that know how to work globally, that they are already working globally. And the landscape became much more mature working with traditional corporates. And you can see that by names that we gave you to show that they are serving global financial institutions. You can see a lot of our fintechs that they are not small startups anymore, but a big tech unicorns that working with all the big brands all over the world. So it's not by a chance that this ecosystem developed. The Israeli government and academy give support and encouragement for the local ecosystem. The Israeli Innovation Authority provided financial assistance and grants and also accelerated programs. The Ministry of Economy and the Israel Export Institute providing financial assistance and export assistance. The Israel Securities Authority providing also securities, expertise, resources, and networking. And also Israeli Academy, of course, it top-rated university with strong faculties in computer science and mathematics. But the thing is, it's the risk-taking spirit that the Israeli, you can say, culture is that failure is genuinely seen as an opportunity to learn. We are not afraid of failure. So a little bit what happened through the year in raising capital. So you can see the big increase from 2018 until 2021, and then the decrease in the investment. But this situation was globally. It's not something that is only. Thank you. The situation of less liquidity in the market, it's not something that's unique in Israel. You can see it all over the world. But the most interesting part is that the lack of liquidity in the market has challenged the fintechs to think differently and to look for new ways to grow. And that it means they are not the ones that look for B2C. They are now also looking for cooperation and to work with traditional corporates. And now I want to show you and to give you a few use cases from our experience. So the Discount Bank strategic approach has 3 legs. One is the traditional banking. We want to be the best bank for our customer. The second is the group strategy. Discount Bank is not only a bank, it's a group with subsidiary companies, and we want to maximize the group value. But we decided it's not enough, and we need another leg that will be the disruptive banking. And we want to do that by challenging traditional banking models and competing against the entire financial sector, including inside the house. A little bit of my department. Also, we are focusing in 3 legs. One of them is fintech and innovation. We are doing partnership and integration of external product and services and working with fintechs that want to give added value to our customers. The second leg is open banking, PSD2. I know you are not familiar with that in Japan, but it means that every customer can share. It's a regulation in Israel, and it means that every customer can share his data with external fintechs and companies that can give him an added value. But we want to leverage it, to leverage the infrastructure, which is API, to improve our offering to our clients and create new revenue stream. And the third leg that I will elaborate on it furthermore is the disruptive models. So why I want to show you about the open banking. As we see it, there are 3 approaches for working with fintechs. Of course, there are much more, but I find myself from our experience challenge it to 3 ways. One is giving your customers an easy access to enjoy the fintech services, whether it's white label or the fintech brand. The second is buying a license and implementing inside the corporate, inside the bank. And the third, the hybrid model or the disruptive model that I will elaborate furthermore. This slide is a good example for the first approach. I wanted to give my customer added value that I cannot give them, like the tax authority. It's a FIBO automated tax refunds, like wealth management tools. And to implement it inside the bank was quite difficult. Of course, I don't need to elaborate about how it's hard to implement a cutting-edge technology with the core banking system. And through API, we find it more easy and, of course, reliable to give my customer the fintech added value in a much more easy and fast way. So moving to our disruptive models, I wanted to show you two use cases. One, which is in payments, and the other one is in credit. So about 2016, 2023, of course, I don't need to tell you about the payment ecosystem in Japan. It's very evolved. We used to handle cash. We don't need it anymore because we have digital wallet. But what is interesting is that what we did in that area. So first of all, we identified the market need. And in 2020 and 2017, we acquired a digital wallet license from Paybox, a payment fintech. After a few years, in 2021, we decided to partner with the biggest retailer in Israel to become a leading digital wallet in Israel, and sold 49.9% of Paybox share, and actually move it from a unit inside the bank to a subsidiary, to really give them the opportunity to grow. And in this year, Paybox has become the payment market leader in peer-to-group. Now, what is more interesting that 1 year later, the customer balance was around 500 million shekels, and the users was approximately 2 million. And to compare it, it's twice than the bank has. That is why I mentioned is why you need to think outside the box if you want to capture and to give services to all the market. So what we do right now in Paybox, it's not just a digital wallet anymore. It's provide various financial services, including complimentary virtual credit card. It's a market leading in deposit rates, and we give also an additional offering. The credit market in Israel undergoing a transformation, and I believe it's worldwide. You can see the unbundling of retail banking services. You don't take all the services from one bank anymore, but from a various of institutional. There was a development of a credit bureau, the open banking reform, the PSD2, a technological progress, and of course the embedded finance that means that our customer will no longer purchase our services in our website. They will want to purchase the services in other platforms. And what we did is decided to establish Greenland. Now, this is a good example of the hybrid model. The name it wasn't invented by us. It was published by the Harvard Business Review. And it actually takes the advantages of a big and traditional cooperation like capital and distribution channel, and take the advantages of a startup or fintech. And by combining them together, you're creating the hybrid startup. And we decided to establish it with EasyBob. It's a well-known fintech that got a lot of innovation award and has a cutting-edge technology. And together establish a new fintech company that will offer embedded credit solution for individual and SMBs. And we see it as the optimal alignment due to the cutting-edge technology and the bank distribution channels and capital. I have more examples, but I want to say a few words to you about this example. It's not easy for big corporation to take cutting-edge technology and implementing inside our core system, our legacy system. And to do the hybrid startup, it means to think outside the box. It means that you can literally be outside more faster because everything is brand new. You don't have to give only your customer added value, but you can give it for all the market and think how much you can grow by that. I don't have enough time to explain about Carl. Just a few words. Carl joined the Custodia. Actually, it is an example of buying a license and implementing inside the company. And by that can improve the value for its customers. Thank you.
シャニさん、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
Thank you.
それでは、イスラエルフィンテック企業のピッチへと移らせていただきたいと思います。顧客の好みやニーズに合わせて、革新的なローン管理システムクレジットやファイナンスソリューションをグローバルに提供しているブレンダー社より、ガル・アビブさん、よろしくお願いします。ガルさん、floor is yours.
Hello, konnichiwa everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for Shani for the great talk before that really showed the ecosystem in Israel. Is the screen as well? You see the right one?
No, it's a presentation mode now. So
I see.
You should do the full screen.
Yeah. Let me fix it. Now it's okay?
Yeah, okay, great.
Perfect. So my name is Gal Aviv. I'm the CEO of e-lender. We are a fintech company that works in Israel and in Europe. We specialize on retail lending and we work both by ourselves, mainly as a lender, but also as embedded finance solution. In general, Blender is a publicly traded company. We went public in 2021. We are 82 employees that are around Israel and Europe. We provided lending on our balance sheet today with over 400 million US dollars, 1.5 billion shekels, to over 72,000 clients. We have a very wide partnerships from European institutionals, Israeli banks, and international players, international tech players like Salesforce, Amdocs, and others. What is special about Blender is that we are very versatile. So we work in many segments of retail, from point of sale, mobile apps. We can provide loans actually to almost any given channel that the retail customer wants to work at. We can meet him, whether it's in store, whether it's in his mobile phone, whether it arrives to a certain business in the e-commerce or through specific API, websites, etc. And Blender platform is not just a technological platform, but because we actually not only just selling technology, but we lend our own capital or capitals that we raise from banks and financial institutions, we have the full cycle. The systems know to do the customer onboarding, the risk management, up to the issuance and the loan management. And to do that, we had to develop a lot of technology, starting from the underwriting, the use of data. There is a lot of data that is running around the internet today, that's running in certain databases, and you need to know how to utilize this data. And this data is different in various countries. We established Blender on already over 5 different countries, and our system know how to empower this information to its benefit to prevent fraud. And you will see that our processes are very fast, and fraud prevention is a big part of solving the lending problem, and to be completely digital. Now, all this, once you have all this technology, your credit products can be very versatile. So from car loans to cash loans to medical loans, buy now, pay later, SME lending and real estate loans are the versatility of the company. I would say more than that. Actually, Blender works, as I said, in Europe and in Israel. In Israel, we are in partnership with the largest bank in the country, with Bank Hapoalim, where we have a joint venture together with the bank. And together we are the leaders of the buy now, pay later industry in Israel, with thousands of businesses that working under Blender Pay, our joint company. And under this umbrella of Blender Pay, there are thousands of businesses that provide buy now, pay later solutions to their customers in Israel. And to do that, work in these fields, you need to have a very fast and efficient customer experience. It starts from the onboarding process. So the customer can be either in a store, in a physical store, in an e-commerce website, in a car yard, in a car agency, or actually anywhere in the web, or in a branch. And we know how to do the onboarding process in a matter of seconds. The system automatically does the examination of the client, automatically decides what is the risk, and provide credit rating. The credit rating means what is the probability of default of this specific client. We do a full identification of the client. And if there is a collateral, the system also provide valuation for the collateral and take it into account. As we said, we already provided loans to 72,000 clients. And this process happens in between 17 to 30 seconds with almost no fraud and very accurate rating activity. But we not only lend our own capital, but we also provide embedded lending solutions. By the way, I think that the models that we've provided with Bank Hapoalim, Israel's largest bank, in building together a joint venture that allows to utilize the best of each of the worlds, the capital of the bank in one hand and the customer reach, and the ability of Blender, the technological ability and the customer management abilities on the other. Our platform is built like building blocks. And actually, these building blocks allow us to be very versatile. So it starts from the customer onboarding, that it's provide a variety of services that can be chosen. This is our catalog of solutions that we can provide. The loan origination, collection, risk and compliance. And then we have also accelerators. So it relates to the ways that we manage data, the ways that we create data dashboards and reports, live reporting, and AI abilities to understand what's happening now in our sale processes, what's happening in the portfolio of loans, and everything happens live in real time. And this is part of the solutions that we provide on top of the Salesforce platform as a partner of Salesforce to everyone that is acquiring the Blender solution, the Blender lending, and saving solution. I wanted to thank you everyone for the time and have a great conference. Thank you.
ガルさん、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. それでは次に、アナリストの金融情報分析集積プラットフォームを提供する Tipranks 社より土井孝之さん、よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。スクリーンシェアします。大丈夫そうですかね。
大丈夫です。
大丈夫ですかね。はい、よろしくお願いします。シャローム、皆様、こんにちは。今回、貴重な機会いただいて、皆様の前で当社 Tipranks のご紹介できることを大変光栄に思っています。私、土井孝之と申しまして、現在、イスラエル・テラビブよりお話ししています。法人営業チームのマネージャーしてまして、主に日本市場を含むアジアの市場を担当責任者でございます。主に株式投資における金融投資データの情報を世界中の投資家に提供している会社なんですけども、本日時間も限られてますので、ぜひ皆様に当社の思いや強み、そして日本における可能性についても感じていただければなと思っております。で、Tipranks の信念として考えていることなんですけども、投資において全ての個人投資家の皆様がですね、ヘッジファンドや機関投資家が行っているのと同じレベルの高度な分析や情報にアクセスをして、競争力を持って、投資という市場に挑めるべきだと考えています。ただですね、プロの投資家の皆様がそういった情報に支払う何千万円もの費用を同じようにかけるのではなくて、個人が支払える範囲でのコストで実現をすべきだというふうに考えています。我々のミッションを達成しようとしていることはですね、Tipranks を使うことで、平均的な個人投資家、私とか、例えば私の母親とかがですね、プロの投資家が行うようなデータに基づくスマートな投資を自分の資産形成のために行えるという世界を実現していきたいと思っております。では、どのように実現するのかということなんですけども、当社、言語技術、自然言語処理、ナチュラルランゲージプロセッシング、あと、機械学習及び AI の、専門家集団でございまして、その技術を活用することで、テラバイト単位での、金融情報を処理して、最終的には、利用者の皆様にとって直感的かつ、利活用のしやすい分析ツールとして、個人投資家の皆様にご提供しております。分析ツールはですね、個人投資家のレベルを問わないで、プロ並みの情報にアクセスできるということだけじゃなくて、直感的に投資の意思決定に活用することができます。最終的には個人投資家の方の投資の成功に貢献できているんじゃないかなというふうに自負しております。で、ここでちょっとTipranks のですね、誕生の経緯、創業秘話みたいなところを少しシェアさせていただきたくてですね、我々のプロダクトの良さとか、サービスにかける思いみたいなところを理解していただけるんじゃないかなと思います。で、ファウンダーウリというイスラエルの人間なんですけども、もともと商業用ドローンなんかを操縦してまして、ドローンを海の上で飛行させて、油田を探すみたいな仕事をしてました。で、結構そのまま続けてればですね、稼ぎもかなり良かったみたいで、いい、人生になったんじゃないかなっていうところもあったんですけども、ある日、彼がですね、一つの記事と出会いまして、イスラエルの、金融系の、トップ経済メディアみたいなところでですね、あるアナリストが、1年後の株価は2倍になると予想するような内容を、記載してました。で、彼自身、興奮してですね、冬のボーナスの全額をつぎ込んで、で、それが3ヶ月後には、株価 80% 下落して、新婚だった奥さんに、残高それ見られてしまってですね、とんでもない空気になったと。で、奥様からですね、一言、なんでそのアナリストが信用できると思ったのと問い詰められたと。で、なんか奥様の気持ちもすごいよくわかるなと思うんですけども、これがすごく創業の大きなきっかけとなった一言でして、そこから、ウリがですね、Excel ファイルに見つけられる限りのアナリストの予想をどんどん記録していって、 どのアナリストの予想が結果的に利益、損失をもたらしたのか、その予想が成功してたのか、あるいはどのアナリストが信用できるのかということをどんどんデータとして貯めていったというところがTipranksのスタートとなった出来事でございました。で、現在ですね、我々約8000名以上のウォールストリートで活躍するアナリストをカバーしています。それだけじゃなくてですね、8000名超える金融系のブロガー、記事を書くようなライターだったり、あとは8万名を超える市場で取引されている企業の企業内部関係者の取引の動向であったり、あとはですね、ヘッジファンド、450を超えるヘッジファンドマネージャー、個人投資家の皆様、プロのマネージャーがどんな銘柄カバーしているのか、どんな売り買いしているのか、非常に関心が高い内容だと思います。さらにですね、個人投資家の投資行動も把握できまして、例えば隣の海外の自分と同じような投資家がどんな投資を行っているのかということも知ることができるようなデータベースっていうのを構築しております。そういった努力をですね、10年以上行ってきたことによって、我々の一つなんていうんですかね、標語みたいな形になっているんですけども、know who to trust と、誰が信用できるか分かる情報を個人投資家の皆様に提供できるデータベース、基盤というのを構築してきました。で、こういったですね、独自の情報とかデータ、武器にすることによって、グローバルで、オンラインリテール、証券業務だったり、そういったトレンドを作っている金融機関さん、オンラインブローカーの各社さんと、お仕事をすることができています。実際にそういった金融機関、その先にいる、顧客の投資をサポートすることができているかなと思っています。で、アジアではですね、DBS さんだったり、あと、ムームーを展開している富通証券さん、アメリカだとですね、投資ブームを大きく牽引しました TD アメリトレードだったり、カナダの CIBC、あと、ラテンアメリカの、すみません、ラテンアメリカの、サンタンデール銀行さんなんかも、我々のデータをご導入いただきまして、その先にいる、グローバルな個人投資家の方々にご提供できているという形になっております。で、我々のツールをですね、活用いただくことによって、各、プラットフォーム、金融機関さんの口座数が増えております。そして、個人利用者のですね、アクティブ率および滞在時間が向上してまして、ひいては取引数が増加するという形で、こうしてエンドユーザーであるですね、個人投資家の皆様をハッピーにすることで、我々のお客様である法人金融機関の皆様にもハッピーになっていただいているという形です。で、Tipranksを通じてですね、何十万人にも及ぶ専門家たちの知識や情報をグローバルに利用可能なデータへのアクセスを可能にして、私たちを含む、個人投資家を一緒にエンパワーしていくことを楽しみにしておりますので、ぜひご一緒できればと思っております。で、簡単に会社の紹介になるんですけれども、我々、Tipranks と申しまして、先日、11周年を迎えて、お祝いをしていたところです。本社、テルアビブのイスラエルというところにありまして、B2C でTipranks.com というウェブサイトを提供しているのと、B2B2C ですね、先ほどご紹介したような形で、我々のデータとかソリューションというものを、個人のお客様に向き合っていただいている、金融機関さんだったり、企業様にご提供することによって、最初エンドユーザーに届けるというところをやっていたり、あと、我々のデータを資産運用業務だとか、ヘッジファンドの方々に使っていただいても、オルタナティブデータとしてですね、プロの投資の意思決定にも活かしていただいております。そうですね。で、累計、資金調達額としては、$100ミリオン調達しまして、コア技術として、自然言語解析技術がございます。で、こういった形で全体的な我々がサービスをご提供している部分になるんですが、ツールという意味では、投資プラットフォームの皆様に、 よりユーザーにとって、投資の意思決定を支援するようなサービス、ツールっていうのをご提供しています。で、データとしては、ヘッジファンド向けに我々のユニークな独自データセットをご提供したりだとか、あと、コンテンツ、記事コンテンツご提供するということであったり、そうですね、ポートフォリオ分析管理ツールというのをご提供してたりします。そうですね。で、最後に、我々、日本のお客様とも少し、日本の法人のお客様とも少しずつお話をさせていただいておりますし、日本語で、日本の会社の皆様とお仕事する準備というのはしっかりできておりますので、ぜひ気軽にご連絡ご質問いただければと思います。また、イスラエルにいらっしゃる際には、お仕事とは関係なくても、気軽にお声掛けいただければ、ご連絡いただければと思いますので、どうぞよろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
土井さん、ありがとうございました。それでは次に、AI ベースの詐欺防止ソリューションを提供する nSure AI 社よりアレックス・ザルトセルさん、よろしくお願いします。アレックスさん、the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Suguru-san, and hello everyone, konnichiwa. My name is Alex Zeltzer, and I'm CEO and co-founder of nSure AI. Let me share with you a little bit about nSure AI. So our company's mission is fairly simple. We're here to help providers of digital goods and services to confidently pursue digital growth by fighting fraud, mitigating what we call scalable fraud. And by doing that, we provide simply one thing to all our clients, what we call net incremental revenue, by allowing them to approve more business than they would normally do. Very high level, the company has been around for 3.5 years, is now processing more than 400 million and monitoring more than 4 billion a year across a wide range of different clients in primarily 4 segments: in crypto, in gaming, in digital gift cards, and in travel. And before I go in to explain a little bit about what we're doing at nSure, let me start by going through the problem. So generally speaking, payment fraud is a problem that happens when someone is using your credit card information or your PayPal information or bank account information to try and steal goods online. So someone is using your credit card information to try and purchase Nike shoes on Nike.com, and when that happens and he's successful, meaning the payment systems allow that transaction to go through, the merchant, Nike.com in this example, is liable for the fraud that happens. This is true for any type of transactions that are conducted online. This is a pretty large problem worldwide, the costs of which are estimated north of $700 to $800 billion. Some of the merchants in general are more exposed to fraud than others, primarily those dealing with digital goods and services. And the main reason for that is the immediacy of delivery. So if we take the same example of Nike.com, the main problem, the problem there from a merchant perspective does not occur until the products are actually left at the doorstep. So if you place an order at a certain point in time, I hope I did not change from a presentation mode. Sorry for that. So if the problem does not occur until the products are left at the doorstep. So from Nike.com's perspective, if someone pressed the button to purchase a pair of shoes now, the problem doesn't occur until a day or two later when the the shoes are actually dropped at the consumer's doorstep, and you can reassess the risk just before doing that. And if the transaction eventually doesn't go through, you can decide not to deliver the goods. This is not the case for digital goods and services. For instance, when you're buying a code for a game on Xbox, or a downloadable content for a new game, or a digital gift card by Amazon. Once the gift card is delivered to an email address, or to a text message, or to a WhatsApp or a Line Pay account, the value is gone, and therefore the loss is immediate. As a result of that, two main things happened. One, standard fraud prevention platforms are facing risk profiles they don't really understand. And the second, which is even more important, it attracts a fraudster of a different kind. If we simplify the situation, there are two types of fraudsters. One that is in there to to steal their way on a flight this night, or to put their hands on a pair of new Nike shoes, and the other is those that are doing that as a business. And the people that do that as a business, they go on the dark net, they buy a list of stolen financials, a list of stolen credit cards or PayPal accounts or bank accounts, and they need to turn them into more cash. That's their return on investment. And obviously, when they have that, they need to buy things and resell them. And you can imagine the difference between buying and reselling 1,000 Nike shoes and buying and reselling 1,000 codes for a game on Xbox. Obviously not the same effort. And as a result of that, fraudsters attack these types of goods and services, or merchants that sell these type of goods and services, using machines, industrialized attacks, very, very scalable fraud. Something that from the cyber world looks like a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service attack. It looks like a wave of seemingly legitimate individuals that are there. They're not trying to crash the servers like in DDoS. They're trying to suck up all the inventory. And dealing with that type of fraud is a very different effort than dealing with standard fraud. And that happens primarily in the industries that are shown here on prepaid devices, gift cards, or prepaid debit cards, or telco cards, gaming of any kind that are downloadable, anything that has to do with online travel or ticketing, money transfer applications, and e-wallets, and of course, crypto exchanges and NFTs. Here's a list of some of our key clients. Income, for instance, on the left side is the biggest provider of prepaid online, selling more than 70 billion worth of prepaid devices a year. Paybase is one of the largest crypto exchanges in Europe. Coda Payments is a very large provider of payments for gaming companies, and many more. Through them, we actually protect a very large range of very prominent merchants that you can see here. We protect their digital goods, so Walmart gift cards, or Airbnb transactions, and games like Minecraft. The key difference, really, as I've mentioned, is increasing revenue, and we do that by significantly reducing declines, allowing people to use these declines and actually accept them as additional revenue, and beyond that, allow merchants to expand to different and new markets and products. Some of our merchants that are selling gift cards wouldn't sell prepaid debit cards because the fraud is too high. Some of them would not go and launch in US because the fraud is too high. We're allowing all of that, and by that increasing significantly their revenue. Here's one slide of an example of the initial 6 months we had with Income, and this is a slide approved by them. We've created more than 500% approval on new customer approvals. They've seen almost 50% reduction in manual review, in decline rates, and they've gone to 0 manual reviews following the implementation. A few words about the technology. So the main difference is really what the AI models are looking for, and there's a very big difference between conducting identity verification, which is the common practice today, and trying to identify very scalable fraud attacks by grouping people by their behavior, which is the primary difference between what nSure AI does and what most other players do today. Thank you very much for your time. ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。アレックさん、Thank you very much。それでは次に、金融庁総合政策局総合政策課フィンテック室課長補佐の、馬場優実さんより基調講演がございます。馬場さん、よろしくお願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。Hi everyone, just thanks for attending the webinar today. I'll be presenting in Japanese today, but I just wanted Israeli fintech firms to know that if you need any regulatory clarity, please feel free to reach out to me through Nemoto-san because I won't be able to join the breakout rooms today. はい。すいません。ご紹介いただきました金融庁のイノベーション推進室の馬場と申します。今日は金融庁が金融業界のイノベーション推進のために行っている施策を3つ手短にご紹介させていただきます。次のページお願いします。まず私の自己紹介なんですけれども、金融庁のイノベーション推進室で課長補佐をしておりまして、もともとは金融業界、金融監督分野の業務経験が長くて、IMF や財務省に出向していた経験もあります。今、アメリカのシリコンバレーに駐在していて、海外フィンテックの動向調査や日本進出支援などを担当しております。実はイスラエルとはご縁が最近できまして、3月に行われたテルアビブのフィンテックウィークに参加してまいりました。イスラエルの活発なフィンテックシーンを見る良い機会だったと思うので、もしご関心ある方は、来年ご参加いただければと思います。はい。では次お願いします。では次に、具体的な金融庁の取り組みをここからご紹介させていただきます。一つ目が、フィンテックサポートデスクです。金融法制に関わるご質問を金融庁の専門のチームが無料で受け付けております。サポートデスクの内容としては、いただいたご相談を一元的にフィンテックサポートデスクが受け付けて、その後担当部署と相談の上でご回答するという仕組みになっております。2005年から実は開設しておりまして、相談をいただく企業はスタートアップの方のみならず、大企業の方も多くいらっしゃいますので、ぜひ前広にご相談いただければと思います。次のページお願いします。こちらはフィンテックサポートデスクの詳細です。相談窓口を設置してから約2000件ほど取り扱っております。ここにお電話の相談先も記載しておりますので、新規事業を構想される際は、金融規制に関してご不明な点とかございましたら、ぜひご活用いただければと思います。次のページお願いします。次の取り組みがフィンテック実証実験ハブというものです。フィンテック企業や事業会社などが実験を通じて整理したいと考えている論点、例えばコンプライアンス上のリスクとか、一般利用者に向けてサービスを提供するためにどういう法的解釈が課題があるかとかいった点について、個々の実験ごとに庁内に担当チームを組成して継続的な支援を行います。こちらはサポートデスクよりもちょっとリソースを使うため、支援が可能かどうかというのを判断させていただく必要があり、金融庁のご関心ある方は、ホームページに記載しているチェック項目に関する説明資料をご準備の上、メールにて応募していただければと思います。次お願いします。最後の取り組みが、このイスラエルミートアップのような海外フィンテックミートアップです。約2年前から実は取り組みを始めておりまして、イスラエル以外にもイギリス、ドイツ、アメリカ、カナダ、シンガポールといった国と実施実績がございます。ただ、海外のフィンテック企業からは、やっぱり実際に協業する段階になると、日本企業側の意思決定が遅いとかいう不満や、日本のカントリーマネージャー採用に苦労するといった感想みたいな課題がよく聞かれます。本日ご参加されている企業の方々は、こういったコミュニケーション関連の課題について、すでに理解されていると思いますが、こういった我々も機会を提供させていただいておりますので、こういった機会を使ってぜひ海外フィンテックと知っていただいて、日本の金融業界をぜひ盛り上げていただければと思っております。はい、私からは以上です。お時間ありがとうございました。
馬場さん、ありがとうございました。それでは後半のビッチへ移らせていただきたいと思います。自動販売機向けキャッシュレス決済デバイスを提供するNAYAX社より、ネタ・カルマンソンさん、よろしくお願いします。ネタさん、floor is yours.
Hi, thank you very much. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much today for inviting me for this interesting event. 皆さん、お忙しいところをわざわざご時間をいただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。失礼ですが、今回は英語で話させていただきたいです。So this time I will introduce in English our company, NAYAX. And actually NAYAX, as you can see well in the picture, is providing a complete cashless payment solution. Here from the picture, you can well understand what are we doing. Here is our reader. Actually, we are providing the complete solution, means we're providing the hardware, the software, the telemetry suite, and helping the operator to manage well their vending machine and other cashless payment solution. Okay, so here I would like to give you an example, because actually when we are coming to Japan, the most important thing is actually to bring the innovative product. And as Japan is such an innovative, lucrative, and fascinating market, all of us are looking into this market. Yet, in some area, I think that Japan can have better solution. And while traveling in the Fuji area 2 months ago, I was very touched by this nice cash box that is still existing in Japan. It's not that all Japan having those old type cash box. And it also was very touchy for me to see that actually all those devices are something that can exist only in Japan, because in other countries it will simply be taken with all the cash inside. But we definitely believe that it's about time to promote to the next level. So actually, what are we? Sorry.
Are you sharing the screen now?
Yes.
No, yeah, we cannot see it.
Strange. What is that? From the beginning, you couldn't see?
Yeah, we couldn't see.
How about now?
Yeah, it's fine. Please do the full screen mode.
Okay,
nice.
So back from the beginning. So here is our cashless payment solution. So you can easily see the various types of cashless payment solution that NAYAX is providing, as I mentioned. Here is our very famous worldwide reader. We like the yellow color, although I know in Japan it's not that likable, so we might think about different color for Japan. But this is our readers, including the whole suite of services. Now moving down, what I've been describing about the cash box, this is the one that I met in Fuji area. And actually you can see here the cash box that it's about time to move to the next stage of cashless payment solution. And while providing our advanced cashless payment solution, let's look what is the vision and mission. So the vision is actually redefining commerce to benefit communities around the world. And the mission is to simplify commerce and payment for retailers while driving growth, optimizing operators, and enhancing consumer engagement. So actually we are providing the total solution, starting from the payment, helping the operator of the vending machine, of other devices that need the cashless payment solution, and the loyalty of consumer, which is so much important. Now, who are we at NAYAX? So NAYAX at a glance, we are a relatively well-established company since 2005. Looking at Japanese company, we're definitely a very young company, yet among the startup scene, we are considered as a relatively well-established company. We're a public company, both in Tel Aviv and NAYAX. In terms of our global position, so we have our own offices in 9 countries, yet we are acting in 46 markets. We have devices in 70 countries, and we accept more than 80 payment methods and 50 currency, more than that. And here you can see our scale, because we are growing very fast. So while we are having today more than, actually in March 2023, we have 769,000 devices, means today much more because it's growing every minute, compared to March 22, where we have only 553,000 devices. So you can see the very speedy growth rate. In terms of the customer also, In March 23, we had 52,000 customers all over the world. In terms of transaction processed, more than $410 million transaction in Q1 23. And also our growth is really impressive in terms of year-on-year growth. We are having 44% in Q1 23 compared to last year, which is in terms of recurring revenue, because actually our model is not only to sell the hardware, but to enjoy the monthly recurring revenue. And in this regard, we are partnered together with the operator. So 44% year-on-year growth in our industry is really something very unique and attractive that our investors really like. In terms of customer year-on-year growth, also 54% from Q1 22 to Q1 23. And also in terms of the retention rate, we are very proud that we have high retention rate and customer keep enjoying our services. In this slide, I will concentrate mainly on the right side of the global reach to show you how are we active around the world geographical wise. So we are having in North America 38% and Europe 39%. This is our main market. Rest of the world 30%, where Japan is still here, and Australia 10%, growing very quickly lately also in New Zealand. And it's about time that our Japanese part here will grow more and more. So our complete end-to-end solution, you can see here that we are providing the integrated POS. Here we are integrating with the device, regardless whether this is coffee machine or vending machine for drinking or a laundry machine. We are providing the cashless payment globally, so we are localized our payment accepting to maximize the payment conversion in each market. We are providing the telemetry suite, means that you have our operating have their own operating system and telemetry. They can see in each device how many transactions, what was the transaction, if there is any problem, they can see that in the management tool. They don't have to be physically near the machine. And in terms of consumer and loyalty engagement, we're trying to make the benefit our real estate of the screen of the devices in order to enjoy customer loyalty. So we can see that in general, the main solution is to increase the revenue, not only of NAYAX, but also of our customer and the partner, as well as reduce operating costs. Looking at the variety use cases, so you can see that we're trying to attack various vertical, whether it's the micro market and small supermarket, which are also lately very popular in Japan, I've seen. And then we are providing our cashless payment device in the mini supermarket inside the offices. Honesty box, hotels that lately are doing a lot of do-it-yourself check-in with the cashless payment solution, and canteens, coffee, and other verticals. Here is our main two products with whom we are trying to penetrate the Japanese market. So the main one here is our readers. And the idea is actually to engage your consumer and promote your business via this device. You can see here 3 examples from the Japanese market. One of them is coffee machine in one of the office with our readers. So employee can enjoy the coffee in the office. The HR can manage with a closed loop employee card. How many coffee will they receive? If they receive it free or not, etc. Pop Mart machine in Shibuya. And this is one of our new installation. We are a partner with a company that is offering orange juice and apple juice, fresh orange juice machine. It's an amazing machine, very oishi orange juice. And you have here our devices, and everything is automatically unattended. Very nice solution to be spread now all over Japan. Here is our other Nova market device that we're trying to penetrate now. Japan, as I mentioned before, the micro market solution. The idea is to manage the inventory, the consumer, the employee, everything in one platform. And you can here either screen the product you would like to put. You can enable the customer just to scan the barcode via here, the scanner in our devices. You can pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card, e-money, etc. Talking of e-money, needless to mention, in Japan, we cannot act without the e-money. So actually we support all the IC card, the transportation card. We are about to support here coming soon the Pitapa for Kansai area, the Quick Pay and EdiPay. And on top of that, we support all the other traditional credit card and also pay and line pay for QR code. And in general, as I mentioned, the idea is to bring the management suite to increase their revenue, enable the loyalty of consumer, and reduce the operation cost. So here, seeing is believe. You can see the various type of segment and verticals that NAYAX is attacking. In Japan, as I mentioned, we're trying mainly to attack the vending machine, the office solution, laundromat, that is also very attractive all over the world, and coffee machine, where we have a great added value because of the fact that we are active with all the coffee machine manufacturer in Europe. And thank you very much for your time today, and please feel free to contact either me or our Yano-san, our general manager located in our Tokyo office. We already have a Tokyo office with 6 employees, and we are expanding, and we are very much focused in this market. We are expanding our human resources as well as our investment in this attractive and attractive market. これからもよろしくお願いいたします。
ネタさん、ありがとうございました。それでは次に、銀行・金融機関向けエンドツーエンドの消費者金融ソリューションを提供するJifiti社よりヤコブ・マーティンさん、よろしくお願いします。ヤコブさん、floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. Just want to make sure that you can see everything and everything is on screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jifiti is an embedder of finance. We work with banks and large corporates in 12 different markets around the world. And we provide a white label platform that enables these corporates and these banks to offer various types of financing products when and where it matters most. We do a lot of point of sale lending facilitation, and we will go into that in just a few moments. What I plan to do over the next few minutes that I have is to start off by giving a bit of a high-level overview of the industry as we see it in the markets that we operate today. We currently do not operate in Japan, and we strive to partner with banks and corporates in the Japanese market to offer these types of services. Following the high-level overview, I will obviously go into some of the product details and other specifics around Jifiti itself. I'd like to start actually with what we don't do. Jifiti is not a lender. We do not take balance sheet risk. We are a pure technology play. We enable our partnering banks and corporates to offer their funds or their lending products. And in order to do so, we provide a fully white labeled platform that allows them both to preserve the brand and the ownership of the consumer or the businesses that they are lending to. Our platform today supports many different types of lending products, anything from split payments, which in many of the Western countries has been known as buy now, pay later. But that is actually a smaller piece of our portfolio. Most of our portfolio includes lines of credit, deferred invoicing for businesses, long-term installment loans, and so on and so forth. Over the last few years, in many of the Western countries, the buy now, pay later market has really exploded in a positive way. And many different fintechs have proven to the world that this is a market that can scale with the right type of technology and the right type of accessibility. And many of these brands you probably have heard of or even followed, such as Klarna, Affirm in the US, and many, many others. Throughout the years of 2019, all the way through to the end of 2021, the expansion, the growth was rapid. And valuations were sky high, sometimes unreasonable, in my personal opinion, for some of these brands. However, at the end of 2021, due to the volumes that were being processed by these platforms, many of the regulators announced that they have to begin looking into the regulatory framework for these types of offerings. as many of them were operating outside of the regulated framework. Together with that, as we all know, 2022 started presenting some financial challenges to many of these fintechs who were raising funds on the market and lending those throughout these types of offerings of buy now, pay later. And the lack of liquidity, as Shani-san mentioned earlier on, posed many challenges to these fintechs who were looking to lend off their own balance sheets. And then, of course, valuations shrunk, and many of these companies returned to their original or reasonable sizes. However, the demand for these type of products, making payment terms and finance available and accessible at point of sale, didn't decline at all. It actually continued rising. So much so, actually, that by 2025, we're expecting to see about $1 trillion processed through these type of offerings at point of sale. But as these fintechs had liquidity challenges and couldn't necessarily access capital, definitely not at the same rate that they were previously, it opened up the market for traditional financial institutions and banks to actually serve in a regulated framework the needs of the market, both for consumers and for small businesses. And that is exactly what we do through our platform at Jifiti by enabling, from a technology standpoint, these banks, lenders, and sometimes corporates to leverage their balance sheets and make those financial products available when and where it matters most. So the way that our platform engages, we sit as a platform between the bank, the lender, and often their core banking providers, because obviously many of these corporates and banks do employ core banking systems and platforms in order to underwrite. And using our platform, we are able to cater to the business sector as well as the consumer sector, of course, offer any type of loan that is relevant for those specific types of transactions through different types of environments. These environments can be retail at point of sale, they can be healthcare within clinics, manufacturers who market either direct to consumer or through dealerships, and then of course direct to consumer from banks and contractors who often are providing a quote and providing the work on site. And the touch points also differ and must be customized to the type of scenario or to the type of transaction and have to be supported, whether it's in store, online, at home, through a bank app, or an ordering system for small businesses. The Jifiti platform, the Jifiti engine, is what allows for the conversion of an offering, lending product to live seamlessly within these various types of environments. So in order to provide all of the various components that are needed throughout the current 12 markets that we operate in, we also serve as an orchestration layer. And we incorporate many third parties who provide various services in various markets, taking into account the fact that we operate in a heavily regulated environment. There's often a need for localization and for services that are provided by expert third parties in the locale in order to adhere to the various requirements. And these can include KYC, KYB, decisioning, and of course, fraud control, as well as the way that the funds are ultimately disbursed, the way that the settlements take place at the point of sale. And in order to do so and provide a comprehensive solution, we provide not only our proprietary capabilities, but also an orchestration layer for localized third parties. So to run through two very, very quick examples, and I'll end with that. If we look at consumer plays, we today operate in North America, specifically in the US. We operate some of the platforms of the largest banks in this space. This is an example of Citizens Bank, which provides finance for Apple and for Microsoft consumers. In the US, the entire Citizens Pay platform is built on our technology, and we can allow therefore both in-store and online applications to take place, as well as the disbursement of funds This example is one where we disperse the funds through virtual card, but today we disperse funds by direct integration, virtual card, and many, many other methodologies, including integrations with PSPs. The same is true throughout Europe. One of the well-known partnerships that we have is with IKEA around the world, where we facilitate various types of financial products in partnership with various banks and financial institutions around the world and make that accessible at the point of sale. Once again, in order to scale, and specifically in this case, in order to cater to the local market in Japan, our platform is able to provide many of the local components that are required in order to make this lending activity seamless. Thank you very much for your time and hope to speak to many of you soon.
ヤコブさん、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. イスラエル企業のピッチは、これで終わりです。